Hello, everyone. So I put my mouth super wide. This is episode 17 of CEO in the Making podcast, but I am here to present to you an amazing amount of gold nuggets. What are gold nuggets? Gold nuggets. Um, I will discuss that in a moment. I'm going to introduce CEO in the Making podcast. I am in Kese, owner of Faith-Filled Coaching, and we have a special episode for you today. This is episode 17. The last episode, if you want a little recap, was what happens when you step out, when you trust God and step out, right? So it was an interview with Prophetess and Maisha, and it was amazing. We had a blast of a good time. So we kind of went really deep into the spiritual aspect of her life and my life. So it was really cool, a great exchange, and a lot of biography about how I got saved, different things, and how she got saved. So it was really great. You will enjoy that. I see that y'all are watching it, and I love that. So without further ado, I am on Instagram as well. So if you see me looking over here, I'm on Facebook over here. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about excuse specialist. So today we're talking about excuse specialist. That's the name of this episode. When you see it on Spotify, when you see it on Google Podcasts and YouTube Music, because we are now on YouTube Music. Yes, so you can go catch up on YouTube. You're already on YouTube all the time. So now you can go look at my podcast on YouTube. So it's really great. If you want to link to prior episodes, you're going to go to the featured tab on Faith-Filled Coaching, and you'll see all the prior episodes and the links directly to the audio podcast. If you're just an audio person, you're like, I don't need video, I'm on the road, I want to listen to somebody talk for 5 hours. This is for you. This is for you. So today we're going to jump right into excuse specialist, because I created a workbook called Overcoming the Excuses Workbook. And what it is it's an amazing diagnostic tool that helps you overcome your main issues. You know, everything isn't holding you back, but something is holding you back from your desire for more in your life. You can't act on it. You can't make the great decision you need to make it happen. You can't study. You can't focus on it. It's hard for you. You're distracted all the time by all these other responsibilities. Your purpose and what you want to do for your life is not a priority right now. And this workbook really helps you zero in on what's going on and have that quiet moment with yourself and really be like, wow, how did I get here? And the good thing is you don't have to be on this journey by yourself. So I'm going to put in the comments here, obviously, the last season's podcast. That's the link to the podcast on Spotify. But if you want to go ahead and have someone there with you and to hold your hand through this process, I'm here with you. And I'm putting my booking link so that you can book a free session so that we can talk about where you are in your life, and you don't have to go through that questionnaire alone. It's a beautiful questionnaire. It's only available to my clients. So if you're in my group, then I've already made it available to you. So if you want to join Faith-Filled Transformations, that's another thing that you probably want to know about. Faith-Filled Transformations is my group. So if you want to join that, you get to go ahead and join and catch up on all the amazing things that we've talked about, you know, because it's been an amazing journey. So I will actually ask you to message me to join that group, because on Faith-Filled Coaching, the page itself won't allow me to add you from here. So you're going to have to just go ahead and do that work, okay? And we're going to talk about work and how we feel about work, okay? So, and we're going to do a little story time in this as well. So, however, I want you guys to go ahead and make sure that you know when you're going through this workbook, it's going to bring up a lot of emotions. It's going to bring up a lot of, like I said, excuse specialists, excuses, right? So I say that to be as compassionate as possible, because I make excuses too. And I say excuse specialist because I would say before I got coached, before I got help or assistance of any kind in the area of leveling up my life, I made a lot of excuses, okay? A lot of excuses for why I didn't have the work ethic I needed, why I didn't have the results I needed, even in a regular job, 9 to 5, why I was getting demerits at work, different things. I had a lot of excuses, and they felt so valid to me. But the problem was I made my home in my excuses until I got the assistants to say, hey, to help guide me and assess where I truly am so I can get where I really want to be, because assessing is a coaching skill set that I learned when I got certified as a coach back in 2021. So when I learned that, I realized I don't want to be here anymore. And there's ways to get out of this. I'm signing up. Take my paycheck, okay? I don't care. I don't want to be here anymore. And that's what we're talking about today. Accepting where you are and saying, I don't want to be here. So you can exit that place and work on becoming who you need to be to get to where you need to go. Yes, so you own that place. You recognize that place. You pray, if you're a Christian, about that place. You do whatever it takes to come out of that place. So today is going to be very practical. It's going to be very action oriented because I want you to come away with breakthrough. I want you to come away knowing that you listen to me and you grab a hold of what I said, even if you leave 15 minutes early. That's okay with me. I'd rather you leave with something special that you can take home with you, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be at the space that you're in. So my first question, and it's a confronting question, it is, I'm asking you, is where you are where you want to be? Is that where you want to be? Do you want to be in this state? Do you want to be living in this home? Do you want to be living in your financial situation? Do you want to continue on in this profession that you're in? Are you just beaming at the ear at what you do with your life? Are you feeling so like you're contributing to society? Do you really feel like you're changing lives? Do you feel like you're transforming lives? Do you feel like you're living a healthy lifestyle? Do you feel like your wardrobe really reflects what you want out of your life? Do you feel like the assets you have are what you want? Is everything you have in your life right now in place because you have a desire for more? You're already on the path. You're already pushing yourself to get there. Are you even making a step towards figuring out how to get there? If your answer is no, there's no shame. Again, I've told you, I've been there before, okay? I think I started getting coaching in 2018. So I have been there before. I didn't know I could have more. My coach presented this to me, right? I didn't know I could have more until I knew I didn't want what I had anymore. And I don't mean my skill sets, my talents, and my resources. I want those, but I want to level up by using my talents and using my skill sets to take me to the next level. Okay? Because you always want to honor what you have so that you can do with what you have what you've always wanted to do with your life. It is about what you have, not what you don't have. Okay, so when you are literally getting to that place where you're getting discouraged and you're getting hurt and you're feeling like you're never going to get there, it's because you're actually retracting to an attitude of, I don't want what I have in life. And that's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about, what do you want to do with your life now? Who do you want to hold your hand through that process? And it could be me, right? Because I needed someone to hold my hand in that process, and I'm not ashamed to say any of that, because that is how I got to where I am. So you get tired, get sick and tired of that place you're at. That is my advice to you. Get completely frustrated with that place that you're at right now, and say, self, we got to do something about this thing. I've been complaining about it to my family. I've been complaining about it to my friends. And I remember this statement in Hidden Figures. She was like, I'm tired of hearing you whine and complain about it. How about you just go ahead and do it, go to the court, make it to where they can allow you to go to school for engineering so you can get that position they want to give you in NASA. Because I'm tired of hearing you complain about it, so we can have fun. And guess what? Her friend was like, well, I guess I will go to the court. And she was the first woman to get an engineering degree in a white college, you know? So that is essentially what I'm doing to you. I'm that friend. I'm saying, I'm tired of hearing you complain about it. I'm tired of hearing you say you want something different. I'm tired of hearing you say over and over again, I want to do X, Y, Z. I've desired to do. I've thought about it. I've been tinkering on it. I've been watching people do it in my life. I've been seeing people do it online. I've been watching celebrities do it. I really want it. I've always wanted. I'm saying do it. Stop complaining about it. It's not going to help you. It's not going to get you any further. And that takes me to the workbook, right? The workbook, and I'll give you a snippet, right? Because my only tip today is get sick and tired of being. You need to get sick and tired of being where you are, right? So the first thought-provoking question in this workbook, and I love it so much, is what is your number one excuse that is holding you back from taking the first step in your destiny, right? The first step. A lot of people will come to me and tell me, I don't know where to start. I don't know the first step. That's good. You're in a good place. Why did I say that? Why did I say you're in a good place? You're in a place where you are now inquisitive about what to do. You've taken more than 2 minutes on your destiny. You have completely obliterated the laziness and all the other excuses that you had by saying, what is holding me back? You write it down and you look at the activity and you're like, not in this season. I can't have that activity in this season. It's been holding me back all this time, right? So, getting to be a business owner is a lovely honor. It's amazing, but it comes with a lot of obstacles, okay? A lot of obstacles that you are owning it now, okay? The way you make the money, you're owning it. The way you market, you're owning it. The way you create your website, you own that. Your branding, you own everything. And that may seem like a privilege. It does, right? How you get paid, you own that. The payment thing that you use, you own that. Getting clients, helping them, fixing that and fitting it into your schedule, you own that now. And you're like, oh, yay, right in the beginning. And then when you have to maintain your clientele and you have to maintain your image, your marketing, and everything you have to do and continue to grow as a coach and get better and better with every single session, and you're owning that. And you're like, wow, whew, been 3 years. Goodness, I didn't think of it that way. You want to own it. You want to own it. But are you willing to get inquisitive about how to get to the next level? And that's what I had to do. I had to get inquisitive of what the next level is for Faithful Coaching, where we are headed, where we are going, what are we going to do to get them results faster? What are we going to do? How are we going to execute? We're going to stay focused on results. We're going to get focused on the tools and the tips that are going to get them further. That's why you don't hear me saying a lot about my story, because this is most importantly about my question earlier, right? I asked you a question. Let me not confuse you. I asked you a question. What is your number one reason why you are not taking one step towards your destiny? Have you answered that question? In the comments, have you answered it? Have you answered it? I told you this was personal. This is something that you would normally go through with a coach. This is something you would normally go through with someone who has been where you are and wants to get out of that place. So now that I'm out of that place of regret, depression, or being overweight, or being unhealthy, all of that's over for me. That's not my story anymore. So what is your story? What is your story? Why are you still in the same spot that you've been in for the last 10 years? What is the number one reason? Every time you try to do something, what's the hurdle? What's the thing? What's holding you back? That's what you got to ask yourself, right? I'm teaching you how to think like a coach, right? But the way that you do that, you begin to start to realize that I can't go through that process myself, because you know what's going to end up happening? Your excuses will topple on top of other excuses, and then another excuse will pop up, and another excuse will pop up, and you're going to be in tears at some point. But I'm here to drive you home to the place where you no longer are in tears, and you are in victory, and you are vibrant, and you get to redeem that sad moment of, how did I get here? Because everybody knows that if they sat down with themselves and really asked themselves, how did I get here? It was the decisions that we made. It was every single decision we made in the opposite direction of what we wanted to accomplish in life. Every single decision, right? When and I'm going to be very personal here, started doing my health journey, it did not start because of me. It started because God wanted me to live healthy, because he wants to extend my life for the ministry he called me to do. And the only way to do that was for me to lose almost 100 pounds. And I was rebellious to that. So rebellious that every person that I know that knows anything about health was unable to convince me to be healthy until I got coaching. Okay? And they pushed me to a point to where I never thought I could go. And I definitely would have never done it on my own. I'm showing you compassion. I'm letting you know you're not alone when it comes to not being able to do something by yourself. It is okay. There are 100 things that I have not learned how to do that someone else will have to teach me, because that's their skill set. That's their destiny. That's their purpose in life, not mine. So that's why I'm talking about this, because you know that you've tried to lose weight. You know you've tried to have the courage to go after that career. You know you tried to go back to school. You know you tried to live a certain way or whatever. You know you tried to learn a new skill set and train and get certified, get licensed, get your LLC, get your DBA, get your first client, all the things, do your social media, do your website. You tried all that. And you could not do it because of all the distractions and excuses that you would have to write down on a piece of paper to yourself and figure that out, right? Mine was being overweight, right? I pretty much had the mindset I needed. I pretty much was trained on the things of ministry so I could do the ministry that I was called to, all those things. But what I didn't do is come away with the mindset of, let me use these tools and resources to change my life in every area, not just my mental, not just my my emotional, but also my physical. And I couldn't get healthy. I couldn't do it. I would get healthy sometimes. I would do what they call yo-yo dieting, right? Lose a lot of weight, do a fad diet, lose the weight, and then gain it back, right? Because you don't have the mentality to stay healthy, because you never wanted to be healthy in the first place. You just wanted to look good. And let me tell you, that fades very quickly. If you've ever been in the gym more than 10 times in a week, or even a month, I would say a month. I've not been in the gym 10 times in a week. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, you know that fades. You get into shape. You start looking good. Eventually, it will. The excitement wanes, right? Because you're forgetting why you're doing this. I didn't say lose 28 pounds. I said 100. You don't get to rest until you get there. And even then, when you get there, guess what you got to do? Keep it off. You got to keep the weight off, right? So this mentality was not in my life, so I wasn't able to keep the 40 pounds I lost at first off. So I began to eat keto-friendly foods instead of staying in ketosis. And there were snacks and little sugars and calories that I did not know. And eventually it wreaked havoc on my midsection, wreaked havoc on my results, until that fateful day I got on that scale and realized I gained it all back. Wow. Eating keto-friendly food. And then mixed in there, if you get a little, a little loose on your restrictions, guess what else is going to happen? You're going to eat large carbs. You're going to eat whatever you want, whatever is available, and you'll excuse yourself because you're like, I already lost weight, I'm relaxing, ooh. And guess what? It's all back. And people try to talk to you and ask you, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And you're like, I'm on the diet. I'm doing everything that's required of me. No, you're not. You're not tracking. You're not working out. You're not healthy. See, when I lost the weight, I was very active. I wasn't in the gym, but I was very active. You see, I was raising money to go to LA because the Lord sent me to LA. So I was raising money, working every job I could find. This is before I was a business owner. And I did everything I could to get that money. So I was barely home, working every night, working every morning sometimes. And I had a full-time job, working from home and all of that. Working from home was honestly my only break. Honestly, my only break from that, you know. So I didn't have a lot of time to myself to really veg out in front of the TV and overeat. So it was a saving point, and all my snacks were healthy, except for McDonald's. Forgive me for that. But you know, I didn't eat the bread. You know, so again, you see how throwing off the restraints can be a negative thing. It can be, right? So what was my number one excuse? I didn't want to work out. I didn't want the gym to be a part of my regimen. So when I went to the city that I was raising money for, guess what? I got very lax. Cookies were involved, okay? Keto-friendly snacks were involved. I was doing what they call lazy keto. But it was becoming way too lazy, okay? And eventually I got home because the Lord had me to go to Houston, you know? And when I got home, all my homeland food from Nigeria was available to me. Now, add that to the mix, the temptation to eat what's at the house, to just eat what's available to you. And mind you, I'm still active, still working on some things that I'm trying to do, going out every day. But now it's only 6 hours and I'm coming home to sit down. I got time to myself. Even though I'm in an internship, at that time I was learning about business. So I was on my way to be a business owner, but I wasn't there yet. But I was getting lax because I was like, I'm down to 40. I'm doing good. And I got a boyfriend. And that just added more relaxation. Now someone loves me the way I am and all kinds of things. Does it sound like you? Does it sound like you a little bit? Just a little bit? All these reasons are excuses for why I got lax and my restrictions, for why I didn't replace the physical activity of me doing deliveries or whatever I was doing at the time with exercise. People begged me at that time to exercise. I told them I'm fine. You don't have to exercise. And it's true, you don't. But your nutrition got to be on point if you're not going to exercise. You better be tight in the nutrition area if you're not going to exercise. Like, let's just be 100. And you still got to walk. And you still got to clean your house. And you still got to have all these different healthy habits. So, and you got to meal prep. All that takes activity from you, right? So I didn't want to sweat, right? So I would do workouts here or there after someone convinced me you should work out, right? My brother was going to the gym. He was encouraging me. I was like, man, he's going to the gym. Let me get an exercise online. 15-minute workout, okay? And I love who I did it with, the Grow with Joe challenge. And I almost did like 10 days. It was supposed to be 30 days. I stopped at day 10. Don't ask me why. I don't even remember right now. It was an excuse. See, I'm telling you the truth. I know where you've been and I know how you are. I'm telling you, I was a specialist at telling people I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it, man. I'm not doing it. Now I have worked out more than 52 times. And it's on record at 9 rounds. And she's taken videos of me working out so that people know what the right form of the workout is. I can hold myself in a low plank for over 10 seconds and not feel any pain because my core is strong enough to hold me up. When I came to the gym, I was 290 pounds and could barely get through the jump rope. I could barely do the I don't know what they call it, the punch bag thing, because I couldn't get the rhythm right. And I could barely do the dumbbells. I could barely do any push-ups because I'm pushing 290 pounds up, okay? That's heavy, okay? I could barely run. A lot of things I couldn't do. But my coach was in my corner like, girl, day one is always like this. Keep going. You'll see results on next time you're here. You're going to see. And she was right. I improved with every workout session. And I surprised myself. I did the low plank jacks without problem. I was able to do the the round kicks with no problem. I was able to do the jump punches with no problem. I was able to do the ab workouts without a problem. I was able to do the flutter kicks, even though they really hurt after a while. I was able to do a lot of things, the crab kicks, all the things. Look them up if you don't know what I'm talking about. I was able to do a lot of things I didn't know to do. Now I can do 10 push-ups without going out of my mind tired. Because the pounds kept dropping. Because I kept going when it hurt, when I didn't feel like it. When it was raining, I would go. It didn't matter. I made a commitment to work on myself because I love myself too much to stay where I am. Do you feel where I'm going with this? This is personal stuff I'm sharing because that's not who I am anymore. I'm not ashamed of that story. It's not my story anymore. What is yours? Do you even know where you are? And are you willing to do what it takes to get where you need to be? The next time we meet, I'm going to talk about the I Don't Know workbook, which basically tells you what steps you need to do because you're serious now and you've overcome your excuses and now you're ready to ask the right questions about your destiny. What is my destiny? What is my industry? How do I study it? Who's the expert? Who's the standard? All of that stuff is in there. The tools and the resources of discipline and working out every single day was to change my mentality so I could be a person that could be reliable to do what I love to do right now, which is talking to you about your life to get you where you need to be. I did this in ministry. I'm just doing this now in my business. And I'm happy to be able to train you to think this way, to assess this way, so you can get where you need to be. So that you don't have to stay where you are. Because I'm telling you, I'm paying it forward. I'm so thankful to my coach for what she's done for me this season. Because I'm going to continue what she told me to do. I'm going to keep these habits for the rest of my life. I'm going to teach my future daughter the same stuff. And I'm going to say, yeah, you have a dream. But you know what? We have tools and resources for you to get that dream. All hope is not lost. I can help you from the age of 3 to start doing the stuff you need to do. So you don't have to go until age 33 wondering why you're not healthy. You don't have to wonder anymore. This video is the end of your wonder. It's the end of you struggling with that all the time. It can be the end if you choose it, if you so choose it. Because this isn't for everyone. This is for people who are sick and tired of being where they're at and want to do something different with what you already have, with all the gifts you already have, with everything you already know. You're going to use all of that amazing talent and gifting inside of you to push you out of the place that you're in. Just like I did, you pull from all the resources, you pull from all your reserves, and you do that push-up. You do that application. If it's a job application, you talk to that client about what you want to do for them, and you get them to sign up for your course. You do what it takes, but you don't get mad about how long it takes. You don't get mad about that. See, I used to get mad about that. I'm like, it's taking too long. It's taking too long. It's taking what it needs to take, Kessie. It's taking what it needs to take. You have not been healthy for X amount of years. It's not going to be a cakewalk to go to the gym. You don't want to. It's evident in your environment and atmosphere that you don't want to do what you don't want to do. It's evident. But the only way to come out of it is to not shoot the messenger and realize, wow, what I don't want to do is how I need to get to where I want to be. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because you haven't done it for years. For years you talked about it. Like I said in the beginning, you tell your family about it. You talk to your friends about it. I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do that. Man, I really want to be doing that. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to find the courage to do that. It's a determination that would blow your mind. And I'll end off with this last story. You know, my coach in high school coached me all the way to regionals for shot put and discus. And he didn't even know anything about shot put and discus. He was a football coach, Coach Hammond. And the moment he found out, right, that he was going to be coaching shot put and discus, because we lost our shot put and discus specialist because he left the school, and he was in charge now, still coaching football freshmen, but also coaching us ladies. And there was a man in our shot put and discus group. We inherited him, you know. So he was going to train us to learn something to do something he's never done before. From what I know, right? So instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be training these people on things I don't know anything about, I declined the offer. I'm not gonna do it. He did it. And not only did he train us, but he trained us better than the other shot put and discus specialists that we had. And he took me from being in JV, junior varsity, which is, everybody is in junior varsity when you start, to varsity and getting first place in shot put, and breaking the school record in discus, and going to regionals for the first time in my life, and getting my varsity jacket. I didn't know any of that was possible when I met him. I was willing to coast at JV and just graduate, but I wanted more for myself. All my friends were in varsity, running varsity track, doing all these different things, and I was like, I want that too. But I didn't know how to ask for that. I didn't know how to go after that. I was too young. So he invested in the time it took. I don't know what year he learned it, but he learned shot put and discus. He learned how to use your hips, because I was too tall, because I wasn't heavy set, so I couldn't rely on my weight for the power for the shot put. So I had to use my hip technique that he taught me in order for me to get the shot put farther. My only advantage was that I had a long arm because I was tall. And the other thing was the discus, learning the techniques of discus. The weight won't help you. Your weight will not help you with discus. You got to have the ability to actually make the swivel happen in the disc for it to go a certain way, and then have the grace to throw it. But you still need power, of course, right? And you need the wind has to be on your side too. I'm just gonna be honest with you. There's physics to it. So he taught us all of that while he was a football coach. And he focused on me because he saw me working out after practice. And he was like, wow, she's really committed. And he would pick out, and he was like, you're going to be a superstar. And I was like, what? But he already knew how he was going to press in. Oh, I'm going to learn some shot put. I'm going to learn some discus. I can't wait. And that's how I feel. I can't wait to help whoever signs up for a session with me this week. I cannot wait to help you get where you want to be. I can't wait to learn all about your story and begin to show you how to assess where you are so you can get where you want to be and not stay there anymore, and tell you what you need to do. I can't wait to hear from you, right? So this will be uploaded soon. And this is episode 17, Excuse Specialist. That won't be you in 2024. That doesn't have to be you. But it has been you and it has been me, but it's no longer my story. And I want to strip that from you as well, so that you can be like, man, I want to get to part 2, I don't know, workbook. I want to learn what I need to do for my destiny, and I can't wait to share that with you next week.